my quick tips of buying a car during this crisis. Stay tuned. Misfit. Alright, so as you guys can see, I've sold the Type R, bought and sold the Shelby, or haven't sold the Shelby yet, but about to trade it in. So why am I doing all of this during such a horrible time of purchasing vehicles, right? Well, I think that if you're able to take advantage of the higher pricing that dealerships are able to give you, plus work out the deal to the best of what you can do, then you're going to be at a good spot. So, one, know that whatever you saw car prices as last year or even a few months ago is not what you're going to find them for right now. For example, a Mustang GT, a few years old, I saw them before like in the high 20s, low 30s. Mustang GT right now, you're gonna find it, a few years old, you're gonna find it in the high 30s, low 40s. Well, I would say more mid to high 30s. So what does that mean? Okay, you're paying a few $1,000s over what you were paying last year if you would have bought the same car, right? So you got to come to terms with like what's going on right now. If you're expecting the prices from last year, then quite honestly, then you might as well should not buy a car. It's not the right time for you. And quite honestly, it might not be the right time for you for a while, right? Now, because who knows? Like, experts say that it's going to take a few years. No, that's going to take a year or a few months for the chip shortage to be fixed. But you don't know what other shortages they're going to have. You don't know how well the car market's going to recuperate after that shortage. So at the end of the day, guys, you don't know what's going to happen or when everything's going to get back to normal. And even if it gets back to normal, who's to say that car prices are going to go back down? We hope they do. We expect them to. But what if this is the new norm? You know what I'm saying? Who knows, right? Nobody could predict the future. We can analyze the data and assume and expect what's gonna happen, but then everything could get turned upside down and on its head. What if, God forbid, another COVID outbreak happens and stuff gets shut down, and then there's more shortages on chips again? Car prices are gonna keep going up. So you don't know, right? We can only assume, and off of the data that we're given, we can diagnose and say, okay, this is what's most likely will happen, right? So take that out of your head. You're not gonna find a car for what you were able to buy it a few years ago, or a year ago, or a few months ago. So once you got that out of the way, okay, perfect. So what is the most that you're willing to pay for a car? So I had the fortunate event that when I bought the Shelby, it was not at the peak that it reached, right? I did it right before that peak hit. So while I didn't buy it in the high 40s as you probably could have bought it last year, I did buy it in the low 50s, which it's not what I sold it for or what I'm expecting to sell it for in the mid 50s, right? And I made money basically on that car. or I'm gonna make money on that car, which is the same thing that happened with the Type R. But guys, you can't take one without the other. So if you expect to get more for your car, you have to expect to pay more as well. Again, new norm. So know that. So what's the highest that you would pay for it? Okay, analyze the car prices out there, because yes, while everything is higher, there are deals to be had, right? In the whole range and the whole scope of the higher car prices, there's a lot of dealerships that are putting it even higher than that. Or there's a lot of dealerships that are trying to take advantage and squeeze every freaking dollar from the consumer, from you that's buying the car, right? And they're gonna blame it on the chip shortage. Oh, the chip shortage. Yes, we all know there's a chip shortage. It's headline news. It's been going on for months. How can we move forward so that I can purchase this car from you, right? So what does that mean? Okay, get on sites like TrueCar, Car Gurus. Do your research on websites like Edmunds or even Google. See what is the average car price for a car by year, by mileage, by package that it has, and do your research and see what is the average of that, right? Because if the average of a car, for example, is 40K, and then the dealership right down the street from you is asking for 50K for the same car that maybe if you travel, I don't know, 20 miles, 25 miles, you can get it at the average of 40K, then, you know, that 25 mile trip is definitely worth it, right? Or just call that dealership with the research that you did, let them know and see what they will do for you. Try to do your research. Now, with what I just said, call the dealership. That's what I recommend for sure. Do not stop by these dealers. Everybody's going to give you a price over the phone, or at least an estimate over the phone. They're going to give you information over the phone. When you talk to them, tell them that you need the out the door price. Out the door price. That includes dealer fees, tax, titles, all that good mess, right? Even if it's not going to be totally accurate, because you might have a trade-in. You might have a down payment that's different from what they're telling you. You might have a tag that you're going to transfer over versus a new tag, but they're going to charge you for the newer tag. But what you want is all of that, the tax, titles, all that stuff is variable, right? And also what they're going to give you for your car, their trade-in. What you really want is what fees are they going to tag on to the price of that car, right? And then that's when you can negotiate. That's when you can come back to them and be like, okay, this, and that, I need you to work on that. Or I need you to work on the price of this car. Look, I'm willing to buy the car if you're willing to go down $2,000 or $3,000 less. I don't know, but do that over the phone, right? And if they need you to come by the dealership to be able to do it, struggle like crazy to do that, because what's going to happen is that you're going to waste your time. I've been to dealerships that have told me, oh, come down and we'll definitely make out a deal. And then you go there and it's like, what deal is this? You're basically telling me something higher than what you told me over the phone. This isn't a deal. But they want you in, they want to try to finagle you, talk to the manager and stuff like that. Have you guys ever, like, I've gone to dealerships and I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested. Yeah, just go get your manager, because I'm not gonna buy the car, and I know you're gonna get your manager before I leave, right? Because that's what it is. This is the little game that they play. They try to hold you there as much as possible, because in their mind, the more you're there at the dealership, the more likely it is that you're going to make a decision on that car, and hopefully they can finagle you to actually purchase that car. So Try to do everything over the phone as much as possible. Ask for the out-the-door price, all the dealer fees, all of that. And then don't care about the variables, tax, title, down payment, trade-in for right now. Unless you have a trade-in and you want to deal with that as well, right? Because in trading in my Shelby, I have hit up a few dealerships and I tell them what I have. I give them the VIN number and they've given me, an estimated price over the phone. I know my car's in excellent condition, right? But whatever they give you, it can only go up from there. I know it won't go down, right? So those are very important tips. And then lastly, guys, this is an important one. Don't fall in love with a car, right? There's other cars. They're gonna make it seem like it's sales 101. They're gonna make it seem that this is the one and only car in a radius. And while that may be true because of the chip shortage, all these new cars, like for example, Scat Pack wide body Chargers. Yeah, they're a dime a dozen because so many people are getting them. So if you find one, they're gonna charge a pretty penny for them because you can't find many of those, right? But with that said, don't fall in love with the car. Like, there'll be another deal. There'll be another car that you can get. If it's not the right one, then it's not the right one. I follow a model whenever I'm looking for cars, right? If the numbers don't work, then they don't work and I don't get the car. That's what I always tell myself, right? For me to purchase a vehicle, the numbers have to work out in my favor, whatever that is, right? Whether it's a certain price for my trade-in, whether it's a certain price that I want to be at, whether it's a certain price that I want the out-the-door price of the car to be. Whatever that is, if the numbers don't work out for me, they don't work out for me. By the way, now that I'm saying that, let me remind you, never go off of your car payments. You should only go off of car payment, what you want to pay a month, when you're in that finance office and they're telling you those numbers. Before then, do not. And even with finance, negotiate the price of the car or the whole package of the car before you even talk about monthly pricing, right? Because all they're gonna do is get you higher months or I don't know, whatever they're gonna do, but they'll work the deal to their advantage to get you to that monthly that you want to get to, not to what they should get you to, right? They're not gonna work the price of the car. They're not gonna do it in your favor. They're gonna do it in their favor. So definitely don't talk about that. But yeah, until you get in there, don't talk about monthly payments, right? But yeah, definitely guys, if the numbers don't work out, they don't work out. That's my motto. And if they don't work out, nobody's gonna make me buy a car, right? At the end of the day, it's my decision. I've walked out of finance office because in the front, they tell you one thing, and then when they get you into finance, it's something else. And I'm like, no, give me my car back. Give me my keys back. We're not doing this. You guys just wasted 2 hours of my time. But that's basically it, guys. Just know that it is something different, right? And you have to go with the times. So stay your course, stay steady, do these few tips, and you'll get the car that you want. This is long enough, but till next time, guys, keep driving those cool cars. Please like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell icon. Check out the Motor Misfit podcast on all your podcasting platforms. And until next time, guys,